did you mention that Bill Gates' dad was at one point head or involved in the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, he was in charge of the Washington State Federal Reserve. And he also established Planned Parenthood. So he was like
Bill Gates' dad?
Whoa.
Bill Gates' dad.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I mean, he ran the bank of banks. The biggest Federal Reserve is New York Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Which is the most powerful of all of it.
Yeah.
But the Federal Reserve in Washington State is very powerful as well. And he ran that. And the whole story of Bill Gates is like you get into these billionaires, it's all LARPs and lies. And you study like Jeff Bezos, and like he's the hardest working guy. He worked so hard. He just got in his garage and never stopped. And you're like, and his grandpa established DARPA. His grandpa established DARPA. He used to work in nuclear energy, and they brought him over, and he created the U.S. Government's Department of DARPA, where's all the crazy stuff comes out of.
His father?
His
grandfather.
Jeff Bezos' grandfather.
Bro.
Mr. Bezos.
That's Mr. Bezos to you.
Yeah.
That's Papa Bezos.
Which is like you kind of get into like, if you're asking me, like Amazon is just a wing of the government. It's just like, they're like, why doesn't Amazon pay any taxes? Well, why would the government pay taxes to itself?
Yeah. I mean, the Pentagon, they failed their, was it third audit?
Seventh.
Okay.
So they're going to prison though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just
they
want to
all-
be the guy who has to go ask them, can we audit you again? They're like, yeah, go have a good time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Again? I thought you guys were still doing it.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Wasn't the early stages of Planned Parenthood, weren't they practicing eugenics on
It's all
Puerto Rico?
eugenics.
Yeah, true.
It's all eugenics, and like you want people to be able to have who can't afford healthcare to get healthcare. I mean, I think we all agree on that, but then you start getting into the darker and darker.
Yeah.
Like there always is the presentation of climate change is to save the planet. But when you really get deep into the guts of it, it's about destroying your economy and just taking away all your rights. I mean, that's what it equals at the end of the day. And that, when Trump got out of the Paris climate change, it's like people didn't realize what that Paris Climate Accord was. It wasn't about curbing anything. It was about basically making countries buy credits from this group called the Club of Rome, which is one of those old companies that or groups that just run the world. They're like it's right there with the Bilderberg group. It's like one of those, like the Committee of 300. It's the Club of Rome, which is now in guess what country? Switzerland. They all I'm telling you, Switzerland. Like everyone's like, oh, this country, that country runs it. That's Switzerland. Nobody ever messes with Switzerland. They're always like, we're neutral. I'm like, you can do that? You can just tell everybody you're neutral?
Yeah, I mean, like World War II, right? They're just like, yeah, we're neutral. And it's just like, dude.
What?
Nazis are literally like, oh, they're neutral.
Yeah.
So you guys are perfect.
100%.
Not
You guys
neutral.
are perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Club of Rome has from the start started.
Club of Rome.
Yeah, it's called the Club of Rome.
Never heard
I
of it.
feel like I know nothing right now.
Yeah.
You're like the elder of conspiracies.
I'm blessed.
You are.
I've talked to a lot of interesting people that have told me a lot of interesting stuff. And so it's like that's all it was. So they didn't even want to get China and to get India to come in, they lowered the basically, or they raised the amount of pollution they could put out, right? So the whole point was to just kind of pound on America and cripple our economy to pay off this kind of tax to buy credits. So I could, the U.S. would have to go to Thailand and buy all these credits, which is just money going to the Club of Rome. It was never about cleaning up. And like, oh, we got to lower CO2. You mean the stuff that trees make oxygen with? Like, we're CO2. Like, the whole thing is just a giant scam to just destroy completely control us. So it's like, I don't know if you guys notice, but every day on the internet, there's just another video of parts of planes falling off, people getting in fist fights on plane, delays everywhere. Well, if you study like the UN or the World Economic Forum's like 2030 or 2050 plan, they don't want you flying.
Oh, really?
It's all about getting you not to fly. They want you to be so miserable. If they want you in a 15-minute city, why do they want you to fly around the world or fly around the country? You know, and like whatever you want to say about Trump, he's like freedom cities. I'm like, that's a rebranding right there of a 15-minute city.
Wow.
That's it. They don't want you flying. That's it. That's the whole thing.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, right? If you want to isolate these cities, like we've talked about before, the 15-minute cities, these smart cities, why would you want to travel the world?
Yeah.
Like, why would they want you traveling?
Yeah.
They, like, the real stuff is to watch what they do.
Yeah.
And they fly in private jets, on giant boats, and own giant parts of land with giant buildings. Why they want you to be in a tiny house.
Yeah.
And drive a tiny car. You know?
Interesting.
Like, watch what they do. That's what the real stuff is.
Yeah. That's it, dude. I'm gonna go buy like 1,000 acres.
Or a yacht.
Or a
tomorrow.
private plane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go buy some. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm driving around. I'm just like, oh my God, these people don't even live there near their neighbors, man.
Yeah.
They don't even see their neighbors. It's so great, man.
Ninjas are butterflies.
Did I say ninja? I meant
The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful